Okay, so I'm Devi Ward. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna dive right in because I wanted to do this video testimonial for you because my experience was such a tangible and I got such tangible and visceral results from working with you. So just the session was deep and profound and like hitting the nail on the head with so much that came up that arose that like it just made so much sense. I wasn't aware of some of the subtle stuff, like not consciously aware, but as your guides guided you to share that information with me, it was just so correct and so right and so spot on. And so what occurred, it catalyzed a profound purging and purification and healing on my end. So the night after our session, I had this really vivid dream about some of the things that we were talking about. Particularly, there was this dream about being full of rage and walking around and choking people in that rage. And in that choking, there was this deep sense of like release and gratification because I was giving away this anger. And so part of what came up in our session together to, let everybody know was the transference of this pattern of failure and injustice and racial pain that had been given to me or transmitted to me by my father, right? So in this dream, I was doing the same. And so there was this sense of deep relief and release in transferring this energy. So I don't know what that meant, consciously. I just know that like my sense of it is that it's what it allowed me to do was like have some empathy and some understanding of like what my father was going through, but also exactly what had happened, which was in that moment of his being physically violent with me, what was coming through was this transmission, this energetic transmission of his pain that was imprinted into me, into my psyche and into my body. So that I had that dream, and then the next night, so this is all over Christmas, and so then the next night, which was Christmas, I believe it was Christmas evening, I was at home, snuggling on the couch watching a movie, and my throat just started to get sore, just spontaneously, like inside. And then within like an hour, the pain had gone from just being in my throat to feeling like hands wrapped around my neck. And so one of the things that occurred for me when I was a child in this situation with my father was he actually did choke me, right? So I felt these hands around my neck, and then like fingers up in the base of my skull, and then like my skull was hurting and my throat felt bruised. And then I went to bed that night and I was racked with pain all over my body and fever, like burning up for 3 days. My body heat was so high that my husband was within like 3 feet of me and he could feel the heat radiating off my body. And I had I my whole body was contorted in pain. And the message that kept coming to me was it was poison that was being released. And I was feeling, and I felt like it was coming out of my brain and my spine. Like literally it felt like it was coming from the core of my being and expanding out to my all over the place. But I keep remembering, so what, like I think this was the first or the second night, so I wasn't coughing and there was no drainage, like in my, like no nasal drainage, but there was all this pain. And in the morning I woke up and I felt something in the back of my throat and I coughed it up, and it was this thing, this ball about that big of brown spiky stuff. And it wasn't mucus, it was like hard and like kind of like fuzzy, like it looked like, like those burrs that you get when you walk outside, those little tiny burrs with spikes. It looked like that but bigger, and it was in the back of my throat, and I went puh and spit out, and it was like this thing like where did that come from? It was insane, and it wasn't like mucus or anything. It was just this like furry burr in the back of my throat that came out, right? Like a bug. It was almost like a spider or something. It was crazy. So that was all my purification. So then, here's the tangible life result. That all passes through, and then somebody that we had been working with on building our business for the last year, we've been working very intimately and very closely with this person, and we had just received, I have designed a sexual healing modality that we call authentic Tantra, intimately with this person on building the brand and our imagery and all of that. And right before this whole event, it had come to our attention by a marketing expert that the brand was moving in the wrong direction. It wasn't actually like what this person was doing to represent our brand wasn't actually representing our brand in the way that we wanted, right? So so we decided to renegotiate our contract with this person, and he quit. And so at the moment that he quit, it felt like a release and a relief. And subsequently, since then, in the weeks since then, what has been revealed is how deeply incompetent this person was, and how devastating their influence on our business actually had been for a period of time. Like certain things that are like, if you're a web design expert, that you just don't leave undone, like linking to other people's pages for your social media, like the loading time on our website, 3 minutes, like things that are just like, non-negotiables when it comes to web design stuff. So these little details that we had been unaware of or had been overlooking in relationship with this person became apparent when he left the company. And so there's this, and it was a peaceful like dissolution, just moving out of this energy that was no longer supporting our fullest expression. And what I had wanted the Akashic Record reading for specifically was to become aware of any blocks preventing us from realizing the success of our brand and the success of our modality. So the fact that I went through this purification, and then this person who we have been very attached to working with just removed himself from our organization is pretty phenomenal, and has really cleared the pathway for these other people to come on board who are 100% or at least more in attuned and more in alignment with where we want to take our company and where we want to take our brand. Oh, absolutely. So from my point of view, it catalyzed a transformation. Because what you were pulling in and tapping into was so, it was so exactly spot on. It was such a clear example of like, you are 100% in alignment with the work that you're doing, and the messages that were coming through you to me were so completely accurate that they were the exact perfect medicine to catalyze a purging of exactly the area that I wanted it to. Like, I got exactly what I asked for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I was thanking you and blessing you and sending you, I'm all like, oh, but like, thank you, Julie, and may everybody else's, purging not necessarily be so dramatic, but, that's kind of me, the way I roll. It's
yeah. Well, thanks. I really feel honored, and I felt honored from the beginning to work with you, to tell you the honest truth. And it's I just felt so blessed that I could be part of your process and contribute to your success, because I really believe in you.
That's really wonderful to hear. Thank
you. Yeah. Great.
Yes, and I believe in you. So just anybody who has an opportunity like this is a worthwhile investment. Working with you is absolutely a worthwhile investment, and it's like significant, like tangible change, tangible growth, tangible transformation. You can't beat that. It's priceless.